Hello, how are ya? Well, I have to count every time I do that. I don't know why. It's weird fetish. Hello, Canadadas. Canadadas? Bananadas? I don't know. You know I'm crazy. We'll just leave it at that. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. I know. Why are you celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving? I have a lot of Canadian friends. Uh-oh, I got coffee girls. Yeah. Ew. Blech. Don't buy from this company. I'll link it down below. Zooey Star. Just say no. No. No Zooey Star. Buy from somebody else. Okay. So, this weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm not Canadian. I'm all-American girl. American as the apple pie, blueberry, picking, baseball playing, football loving, American red, white, and blue. But I love Canada. I love my Canadian friends, and they're celebrating Thanksgiving. So why not? Why not celebrate Thanksgiving with them, and then I can have it twice. So I looked up some not Canadian. I looked up some a Thanksgiving game that you're supposed to play when you're sitting around the table, about being thankful and having fun at your dinner party. So I will link it down below. You want to play the Thanksgiving game? So let's go. I have 12. We shall see how many we get through. Number one. Who are you thankful for? A person who is alive or dead. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my mother. I think she raised us right. My values and my sense of humor and who I am comes from my mom. If she was alive, I'd tell her thank you very much. I did tell her thank you very much. I loved my mom. I talked to her a lot. I think she knew that I was thankful she was my mom. Um, I loved her very, 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 very much. The other person I'm thankful for is is my children. I was a very selfish person in my 20s, and my kids made me less selfish, and I appreciate the fact that they did that for me. Um, I was a typical 80s, 90s kid where it was all me, 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 me. And then when you have children and they showed me that it can't be about you anymore, it's about someone else. So, one thing you appreciate somebody at the table. Well, let's assuming that it's American Thanksgiving and I'm sitting at the table. And who would be at the table is my husband's family because that's where I would be. So the person I'm most thankful for is my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. She always says I'm her favorite daughter-in-law, and we always say, yes, but I'm your only daughter-in-law. But she's had other daughter-in-laws that are no longer there, and so I think she appreciates me. Um, my husband has her favorite child. She will say that unabashedly. Um, he's her favorite. And I adore her. She is just, if I need anything, she is there for me. When my mom died, she said to me, I know I'm not your mom, and I can never take the place of her, but I love you, and if there's anything you need, you let me know. And she has been there for me 100 billion zillion ways and times. And she has opened her heart to me and her arms and her pocketbook, and I love her dearly. She's just awesome. I wouldn't trade her for a million other people. And if something happened, God forbid, between Greg and I, she would always be my mother-in-law. I love her so much. So there we go. Number 3, a valuable lesson you learned this year. Well, what did I learn this year? I learned mainly from the COVID that I love my husband more than I ever loved him before, and that I am thankful and grateful to him because I'm glad I didn't have to go through it alone. Um, I learned what's important this year: family, like that movie says. Family is what is that? How does it go? It says blood is everything. Everybody else is just strangers, and you may love your friends, but your family is just it. You know, if you don't have a good family, you don't have nothing. I'm sorry, but it's damn true. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? The food. Oh my gosh, I love the food. Now, I just went on and on about my mother-in-law because I do love her. She's wonderful. However, I miss my mama's food on Thanksgiving. My mom made a sage dressing. My mother-in-law makes a dressing with black olives and eggs in it, and it's very strange. I don't like it. Um, my father-in-law deep fries his turkey, or they buy us. No, either he didn't deep fry it. He smokes it, and I don't like a smoked turkey. And especially, I love my father-in-law, but I think he over smokes it, and to me, it tastes like licking an ashtray. And I love the way my husband smokes his food. My husband smokes food enough that it's cooked, but it doesn't taste like it's like an ashtray, literally like an ashtray. I mean, I think there's a fine line. A lot of people in Texas smoke their briskets till they're black on the outside. Then they peel it off, and then you have the crust and the bark on it. They call it bark. My husband has the perfect amount of smoking. I mean, it gets dark, but it doesn't do the bark, which I don't like. I don't know. Anyway, so the first time I had Thanksgiving at my mother-in-law's house, the first year we were married, my sister came. Oh, I'm going to tell that story on your favorite Thanksgiving memory. But yeah. So, my husband has gotten to the point where I bitch and whine about I don't like the stuffing and I don't like the smoky turkey, that the next day he buys me a turkey breast and we make sage dressing. Because I'm spoiled. 5, random acts of kindness this year. I had a lot of random acts of kindness this year. Um, as far as in the crafting world, um, I got some really nice Happy Mail. Um, very, very nice Happy Mail. It's extremely nice. To the point where I don't know if I could ever repay these people for their Happy Mail. Um, I got my first Diamond Art Clubs. I got my first Ever Moment. I got my first Pink Raspberry. I mean, it's been a great, as far as crafting year, it's been fabulous. Just randomly nice. You didn't have to do that. Oh my God. What are you do? What are you thinking? Another random act of kindness that I had was I was in withdrawals from some medication that I take for my back, and the pharmacist at Walmart, she was just the nicest lady to me. And in fact, I went back later and I told her how much I appreciated that. She was exceptionally kind to me, and I mean exceptionally kind. And Chester, the guy that runs this park, doesn't own it, but he's the maintenance guy and the landscaper. He's just been a super nice guy. If we need anything, we don't know what we're doing as far as our first RV. I mean, I don't know where we'd be without Chester. We'd have figured it out eventually, I guess, but it's always nice to have somebody who knows what they're talking about. Just a kind man. Really, really nice man. Favorite Thanksgiving memory? Well, I have lots of happy memories of Thanksgiving as a child. Um, when I was little, we used to go over to my grandma's. One year, my mother's family, we went out to, I guess, their farm out in, I think it's Middleville, Michigan, is where my mom's family is from. We were out in the sticks. Actually saw a turkey go blah, 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 blah. It was crazy. But my favorite memory, which happened, was my first Thanksgiving with my husband's family. And my sister, at the time, her boyfriend wasn't there. It was the first year we were married. We got married in September and then we had Thanksgiving. And my sister at the time, I don't know if her and her boyfriend broke up. I don't know why she was at Thanksgiving with me. But we invited her and she got drunk. And she was hilarious. And my mother-in-law made lima beans. My mother-in-law makes really good lima beans. I don't even like lima beans until I had my mother-in-law's lima beans. And the secret is she cooks them with bacon fat, and they're, they're delicious. I didn't even like lima beans, really, truly. When I was growing up, I thought I hated lima beans until I had my mother-in-law make them. And my sister was drunk, and she's like, "Oh my God, these lima beans are so good." But the funny thing is that we were sitting there, and I think I had a glass of wine or whatever, but I was not drinking like Christy was, and she disappeared, and I don't know. I'm newlywed, so I was all gaga about what Greg was saying or whatever. So it got to be time to eat. So they're like, "Where's your sister?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, she disappeared." Well, I found her. She was passed out on my mother-in-law's bed. And my mother-in-law was like, "Your sister's sleeping on my bed." I'm like, I guess she needed a nap. And my mother-in-law was like, "Yeah, sure." But anyway, so I hustled her up out of bed. She ate, and she really, really enjoyed the lima beans. I mean, really, the lima beans were delicious. And then um, she was supposed to take pictures of Greg and I, which she did. She did take some pictures, but she kept saying to my husband, "Stop doing that horse face." I don't know if she was drunk or he was making not smiling the way she wanted him to. I'm not really sure, but I have pictures. I still tease her about that. Remember when you got trashed at my mother-in-law's and passed out on her bed? Anyway, grateful person. Who's the most grateful person you know? Wow. Um, I think this goes into 8 because yeah, I'll do 8 too. 7 and 8 kind of go together. 7 is the most grateful person you know, and number 8 is a book, article, or YouTube that made you grateful this year, and it's the same person. Um, I have been watching Carolyn Witherington, and I will link her down below for a long time. She does live every Sunday. She does lots of different stuff. She cross stitches, she colors, she diamond paints. When I first met her, all she did was diamond paint, but she has expanded. I know she crochets. I know she sews. She's a multi-talented, lovely woman. She's Welsh. Um, I have to watch her with the captions on because she has an English accent, and I have to. Her and Tracy both. Tracy is from England. I'll link her down below. I'm really sorry, but sometimes I miss what you're saying. But I love you, and if I watch like not a live, like a Sunday live, sometimes I really have to be like, what's she saying? But it's not her fault; it's my fault. So, when I watch her on like a whip and chat or unboxing or something like that, I always put the captions on. But it's just me; I don't hear very well either. So, as most of you know, I don't have 3 zillion subscribers, so I told stories about I have depression, and I have back issues, and I have a lot of things that I'm whine and piss about. And in January, we were basically told we had to leave the house that we lived in, we rented for 8 years, and I was devastated. And devastated is not even the word. I was just, and my back, I had just gotten a steroid shot, and it wasn't really working that well. And we tried to buy a house, and my husband's credit wasn't that great. And we went to a finance guy, and he basically told us that we would have to get a cosigner, and then so my father-in-law agreed to co-sign for us, and then it ended up that it was more than a co-signing, that my father-in-law would have to basically buy the house, and then a couple years down the road we turn around and buy it back from him. And my father-in-law didn't want to do that. We couldn't find any place to rent. A lot of people have moved to Texas. It's one of the fastest growing states in the union, and the prices are gone up exponentially. Let's just put it that way. And so the housing market is hot. It's hard to buy a house. They're expensive. Rentals are ridiculously expensive. So we just didn't know what we were going to do. What we did is decide to buy the RV, which is the best decision we ever made. But in the meantime, we had to pack up the house, figure out what we were going to do with the dogs, figure out what to do with the cats, figure out, where we were going to put our stuff, figure out, we had gotten to the point where we were like, well, maybe we should just, live in a hotel for a while till we figure out what to do. And then we ended up getting the trailer. Call it a trailer, but it's RV. And it's been wonderful. However, at about the same time, the doctor decided to take me off a muscle relaxer. And I had been on it and taking such a high dose that unfortunately I had withdrawals. And so between all of this mess, I was not myself. I was very, very depressed. I was even, suicidal to the point where I was thinking, Greg has life insurance on me. This is the brain talking, and he can get a house and he will be fine without me, and I'm not worth anything to him. And, it's just how my depression is. So I was taking a break from packing, and I had sat down and I was watching Cal from Cal's Crafts. And this was right after we decided we were going to get the trailer, and things were looking up a little bit, but I was still really depressed. And she started talking about her daughter, and her daughter has a bone disease where every day she's in pain. And she was just telling the story how that every day she gets up and goes to school and just puts on a brave face and smiles. And when she hurts too bad, she stays home, and then the next day she's up and at 'em again. And I felt like, oh my gosh, Lisa, you are such a terrible person. Not terrible, but I felt like you're such a whiner, is what I was thinking. You're feeling sorry for yourself. And here's a young girl in Wales who, she gets up every day and she does this or that, and she's cheerful. She exemplifies the get up and go spirit of, whatever. She's gonna have this for the rest of her life. I can have back surgery. Greg and I could find someplace better to live, which we did. We moved into the RV, And here I am feeling sorry for myself and wanting to die because I can't live where I want to live. I mean, my God, what is wrong with you? And so I immediately emailed Cal and I said, thank you. I needed that kick in the butt. I needed that. It totally changed my perspective. Nothing changed in my life, but it changed my perspective. And I ended up feeling blessed and thankful for what I have, instead of pissing and moaning and whining that we couldn't have what we wanted and that we were going to do something else. And I appreciated that so much. I mean, Cal, I love you so much, and I will love you forever for doing that video, because that just made me more grateful. And to top it off, when it says, who is the most grateful person you know? It's her. I mean, people will send her things, and she has fibromyalgia, and she has other problems. Her husband had a stroke. Her daughter is not well. So she doesn't have a lot of extra money to spend on stuff. And so when people send her stuff, she is just truly grateful and blessed. And everybody loves her. And I love her. And I needed to hear that. And so you're my number 7 and 8. But yeah. So let's go on to 9. 9 is, what do you appreciate in the change of seasons? No more hot. No more hot. Please, no more hot. By November in Texas, it's warm. So we don't really get snow. It does freeze. We get frost. And the first year I lived here, I moved here in 2010. In January of 2011, there was snow, but it was like a light dusting. So I was very, very, very much like, whoa, look at that. But it hasn't happened since. Look at hail. The hail's not really. But anyway, what do I appreciate about the change in seasons? No more heat waves. No more 100 degrees. That's what I appreciate. Number 10, how do you stay grateful? I struggle with this all the time. Part of my problem is I think I watch too much YouTube. And you watch unboxings, and I I have plenty of diamond paintings to get me through to next year. I'm not saying that. I have a lot of diamond paintings. I have a lot of cross stitches. I have a lot of color books. I have markers and pencils. I mean, I could do something 24 hours a day and not run out of stuff to do. But I have that little niggling thing in me where I watch somebody unbox something and I'm like, I want that. I want it, I want it, I want it. I don't want what I have, I want what they have. It's a struggle for me, and I have to try and stay grateful for what I have. Yeah. How do I stay grateful? I work on it because I really sometimes have to work on it. And sometimes I don't watch unboxings because it's like, oh, I can't have that, so why should I even watch it? I get that way sometimes. And then I have to stop myself and go, you need to be happy for them and be grateful for what you have because it could be so much worse. So, 11. Share Thanksgiving with one historical figure. My favorite historical figure, and I've read books about him, and I adore him, is Ben Franklin. I just do. I adore Ben Franklin. I read his biography. I would love, love, love to sit at a table and just let him talk. I think he was way ahead of his time. I think he was super interesting. I think he was terrible to his wife. And he wasn't that great to his son. But did you know he had an illegitimate child, and he got custody of that child and made his wife take care of it? Anyway, I don't know. She was a good woman. He also screwed around a lot in England and France, and he left her at home a lot in service for his country, flirting with French women. Um, yeah. But anyway, I love Ben Franklin. I'd love to meet Ben Franklin. I'd love to just sit there and listen to him talk. Maybe I'll see him in heaven. That'd be awesome. What is your favorite holiday? Christmas? Love Christmas. What is your favorite food holiday? Thanksgiving. Hands down, Thanksgiving. That's why I get sad when my mother-in-law does smoked turkey and dressing with boiled eggs and black olives in it. I'm like, what is this? I want roasted turkey and sage dressing. But yeah, favorite. But my favorite holiday is Christmas. I mean, I get tired of it like everybody else. When the Christmas season is over, I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to put the decorations away. I'm done. But Thanksgiving, it's a great holiday because you're not forced to buy gifts. It's more about, I'm thankful for my family, thankful for what you have. And I will be really thankful this year when the election is over. Because I'm really, 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 really tired of it. And my husband has two hobbies. Number one is cooking, and number two is politics. And I never worry about politics because Greg always takes care of it. I will be so happy when the ads are over. Happy Thanksgiving, you crazy Canadians. I love you guys. Some of you are working. I love you too. I'm sorry. I know I worked plenty of holidays when I was in the restaurant industry. It sucks. But happy Thanksgiving. I will celebrate Thanksgiving in November. I love Thanksgiving, and maybe I'll have my roast turkey this year instead of the day after Thanksgiving. But anyway, love you guys. Bye.